What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fields? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we've shed before? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores? What have we done to the world? Look what we've done. What about all the peace that you pledged your only son? What about flowering fields? Is there a time? What about all the dreams that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the children dead from war? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores? I used to dream, I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are, although I know we've drifted far. What about yesterday? What about us? What about the seas? What about us? The heavens are falling down. What about us? I can't even breathe. What about us? What about empathy? What about us? I need you. What about us? And what about nature's work? Our planet's womb. What about us? What about the animals? What about us? We've turned kingdom to dust. What about us? What about the elephant? What about us? Have we lost their trust? What about us? What about the crying whale? What about us? We're ravaging the seas. What about us? What about forests? don't we give a damn? What about us? What about us? What about us? What about us? What about